there. If you're watching this video, it means you're ready to take control of your future, ready to rewrite your family's story, and ready to eradicate the generational curse of poverty once and for all. This isn't just about making money, it's about making a move. Let's talk about how to make it, manage it, and multiply it. Making money is not just about having a job or a business. It's about understanding and mastering the concept of value exchange. At its core, money is a tool, a medium that people use to transfer value. The world doesn't pay you simply for your time. It pays you for the value you bring during that time. Whether you're an employee, an entrepreneur, a freelancer, or an investor, your income is a direct reflection of the problems you solve and the quality of solutions you provide. In today's economy, the most reliable way to start making money is to become a problem solver. Look around. Every successful person or business is solving a problem for someone. Restaurants solve the problem of hunger and convenience. Software companies solve efficiency problems. Teachers solve the problem of lack of knowledge. Even influencers solve the problem of boredom or lack of information. When you understand that money follows value, your focus shifts from chasing money to increasing your ability to contribute something useful. For those just starting out, it's important to stop thinking about money as something that's either handed to you or withheld from you. You must realize that money is attracted to skill, hustle, and strategy. If you don't yet have a valuable skill, your first job is to acquire one. The internet has removed the barrier to information. Whether it's graphic design, coding, copywriting, digital marketing, sales, video editing, or even starting a simple e-commerce store, skills that people are willing to pay for are now more accessible than ever. Free courses, YouTube tutorials, low-cost certifications, all of these are tools within reach. But knowing a skill isn't enough. You need to know how to package and present it. This is where personal branding and positioning come into play. Your resume, your portfolio, your social media presence, these are signals of your value in the marketplace. Learn how to communicate what you offer clearly and confidently. People don't buy the best products or services. They buy what they understand and what they believe in. When you know your skill and you know your audience, the connection becomes much easier to monetize. It's also crucial to understand that in the age of the internet, your ability to make money is no longer limited by your location. The digital economy allows you to sell products and services globally. You could be sitting in a one-bedroom apartment and serving clients in 5 different countries. You can run an online store, monetize a YouTube channel, build an audience on TikTok or Instagram, offer consulting, sell templates, write an ebook. The opportunities are vast, but none of them are handed to you. You have to take initiative. You have to do the work. That said, not every form of income is created equal. There's a difference between active income and leveraged income. Active income means you trade time for money. If you don't work, you don't earn. Leveraged income, on the other hand, means you create something once and get paid multiple times. Think of digital products, online courses, or even a YouTube video that generates ad revenue. Once you start thinking in terms of leverage, you stop depending solely on effort and start depending more on systems, scalability, and smart strategy. Making money also involves courage to try new things, courage to fail, and courage to keep going when it's hard. You may not have the perfect plan or all the answers, but momentum is created by action. Most people wait for clarity before they begin, but clarity often comes after you begin. You have to experiment, test, refine, and repeat. Ultimately, making money in today's world is less about luck and more about intent, effort, and value. Your background, your past mistakes, or your current circumstances don't disqualify you from success. What matters is what you do next. Managing money is the bridge between making it and multiplying it. It doesn't matter how much you earn. If you don't know how to manage your money, you'll always feel broke. The problem many people face isn't necessarily a lack of income, but a lack of control. As soon as money comes in, it goes out, often without a clear understanding of where or why. This cycle keeps individuals and families stuck in survival mode, living paycheck to paycheck with no financial stability and no real plan for the future. Effective money management starts with awareness. You have to know exactly how much money is coming in and where every dollar is going. This means creating a clear, realistic budget. A budget isn't a punishment or a limitation. It's a tool for freedom. It tells your money what to do instead of wondering where it went. Every dollar should have a purpose. whether it's going toward bills, groceries, debt repayment, savings, or investment. When your money is organized, your mind becomes clearer, your goals become more tangible, and your spending becomes intentional instead of emotional. One of the most damaging habits when it comes to money is impulsive or emotional spending. Marketing is everywhere, designed to convince you that you need more clothes, more gadgets, more entertainment, more luxury. But the truth is, buying things you don't need to impress people who don't care is a fast way to stay broke. Financial discipline requires saying no to short-term pleasures so you can say yes to long-term peace. It's choosing delayed gratification over instant rewards. It's being okay with not upgrading your lifestyle just because your income increased. Another key part of managing money is saving. Savings provide security, options, and breathing room. Whether it's an emergency fund to handle unexpected expenses or short-term savings for a planned purchase, having money set aside prevents you from relying on credit cards or loans when life happens. Saving should not be something you do only when it's convenient. It should be a non-negotiable part of your financial routine. Even small amounts saved consistently can build a safety net over time. Debt management is also crucial. Not all debt is bad, but uncontrolled debt can quickly spiral into financial stress. High interest consumer debt, especially from credit cards or payday loans, can drain your income and make it harder to build wealth. Managing your money well means understanding the difference between good debt, like a business loan or a mortgage, and bad debt, like financing a lifestyle you can't afford. It means making a plan to reduce and eliminate toxic debt while being strategic about using leverage when it actually benefits your financial growth. Tracking your spending is another essential habit. Many people have no idea how much they spend each month on small, recurring expenses that add up quickly: subscriptions, takeout, impulse buys. When you track your money, you start to see patterns, and patterns reveal habits. With awareness comes the power to change. You can't fix what you don't measure. Technology makes this easier than ever. There are dozens of apps that can help you track spending, set goals, and automate your finances. Another mindset shift in money management is moving from consumer to owner. Instead of spending everything you earn, start thinking like someone who is building something. Owners plan. Owners make decisions based on values, not impulses. Owners focus on net worth, not just income. They think in terms of long-term vision, not short-term gratification. When you manage your money with the mindset of ownership, you stop reacting and start leading. Financial management also includes creating boundaries. It's easy to feel pressured to lend money, give beyond your means, or support habits of others that go against your financial goals. You can be generous, but you also have to be wise. Boundaries protect not only your wallet, but your peace of mind. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't save others financially if you haven't secured your own foundation. Multiplying money is where true wealth is built. It's the phase where your money begins to work for you instead of you constantly working for money. Once you've learned how to make money and manage it wisely, the next step is to understand how to grow it. This doesn't happen through chance or luck, but through strategy, patience, and financial literacy. The concept of multiplying money is often misunderstood because many people focus only on saving, which is important but limited. Savings protect your money, but investments grow it. Without growth, money loses value over time due to inflation, meaning that what you save today will buy less tomorrow unless it's working to outpace inflation. The first key to multiplying money is understanding the power of compound interest. Compound interest is when your money earns interest not just on the original amount, but also on the accumulated interest. This creates a snowball effect where your wealth grows faster over time. It's the reason why starting early matters. Even small amounts invested consistently over a long period can grow into significant wealth. This applies to retirement accounts, investment portfolios, and dividend-paying stocks. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow exponentially. To multiply money, you have to move beyond the idea of working more hours or getting a higher paycheck. That's linear income. It grows in a straight line, and it's always tied to your time and energy. Real wealth comes from leveraged income. Leverage means using resources, systems, or platforms to scale your income without directly tying it to your time. For example, creating a digital product once and selling it thousands of times, building an online course, writing a book, developing software, or owning a rental property. These are forms of leveraged income that continue to pay you long after the initial work is done. Investing is one of the most common and effective ways to multiply money, but it requires education and strategy. Investing blindly or emotionally is risky. You need to understand where your money is going, how the investment works, and what kind of returns you can realistically expect. Whether it's the stock market, real estate, mutual funds, index funds, or cryptocurrency, each option has its own level of risk, required knowledge, and potential reward. Diversification is also important. Spreading your investments across different asset classes can reduce risk and increase long-term stability. Owning assets is another powerful wealth-building strategy. Assets are things that put money in your pocket, such as rental properties, business, intellectual property, or even dividend-paying stocks. The more assets you acquire, the more streams of income you create. Having multiple income streams increases financial security and allows you to withstand economic changes or personal emergencies without being completely dependent on a single paycheck. Each asset, once properly managed, becomes a worker in your financial army, helping you build wealth in the background. Another important part of multiplying money is reducing unnecessary expenses and redirecting that money into growth vehicles. Every dollar that is not wasted is a dollar that can be invested. Lifestyle inflation, spending more as you earn more, kills wealth faster than almost anything else. Keeping your expenses low while your income rises allows you to increase your savings rate, which directly fuels your ability to invest more aggressively and build wealth faster. This doesn't mean living in scarcity, but living intentionally, choosing financial growth over temporary indulgence. Mindset plays a huge role in multiplying money. Scarcity thinking leads to hoarding and fear-based decisions, while abundance thinking leads to strategic risk-taking and long-term planning. It's not about being reckless, but about being bold and educated. People who multiply money understand that setbacks are part of the process, but knowledge minimizes risk. They invest in themselves first, reading books, taking courses, learning from mentors, because the best investment will always be in the person making the decisions. Poverty is often seen as a lack of money, but in reality, it is deeply rooted in mindset, habits, and generational conditioning. It is a system of beliefs passed down through families, communities, and cultures, shaping how people view money, opportunity, and their own potential. Breaking the generational curse of poverty requires more than just financial gain. It requires a total mental and behavioral shift. It demands that you confront the limiting beliefs that were normalized, question the patterns that were repeated, and make conscious decisions to do things differently from those who came before you. Many people grew up hearing things like, money doesn't grow on trees, we can't afford that, or people like us will always struggle. These phrases, while often said out of caution or care, can plant seeds of scarcity and limitation that take root in the subconscious. Over time, those beliefs become invisible rules that dictate decisions, avoiding risk, not pursuing opportunities, accepting struggle as normal. These beliefs influence how people manage money, how they see success, and how they define what's possible for their lives. When left unchallenged, these patterns repeat from one generation to the next, trapping families in a cycle of survival. Breaking that cycle means recognizing that inherited beliefs are not unchangeable truths. Just because poverty ran in your family doesn't mean it has to continue with you. You are allowed to reprogram your mind with new beliefs, beliefs rooted in abundance, opportunity, and growth. You are allowed to make choices your parents couldn't, not because they were wrong, but because they didn't have the same access to information, tools, or systems that are available now. Honoring your past doesn't mean repeating it. Sometimes, honoring your past means using what they gave you as a stepping stone to build something greater. Changing your financial future also requires breaking emotional attachments to money that are often rooted in fear, guilt, or shame. Many people feel guilty about wanting to be wealthy because they were raised to believe that wanting more is selfish or greedy. Others are afraid of success because they fear being judged by their community or disconnected from their roots. These emotional blocks are powerful and real, but they must be faced and worked through. Wealth is not about ego or status. It's about security, impact, and freedom. It's about creating options for yourself and opportunities for others. Another major part of breaking generational poverty is learning to delay gratification. Many people grow up in environments where money was spent quickly because it was scarce and unpredictable. This creates a habit of immediate consumption, spending now, worrying later. Shifting from that reactive behavior to proactive financial planning is one of the hardest yet most essential steps. It means saving, investing, and building systems that prioritize long-term gain over short-term comfort. It means thinking in decades, not just days or weeks. It means learning that not every dollar earned needs to be spent right away. It also involves becoming financially literate, something that is rarely taught in traditional education or passed down in financially struggling households. Learning how credit works, how interest accumulates, how investments grow, how taxes affect income. This knowledge becomes the armor and weapon against poverty. It empowers people to make informed decisions, avoid common financial traps, and recognize real opportunities from scams or distractions. Financial literacy turns money from a source of stress into a source of strength. Community and environment play a huge role in sustaining or breaking generational cycles. Being surrounded by people who normalize financial struggle can make it hard to break out even when you want to. Sometimes you have to outgrow your surroundings to grow into your potential. That doesn't mean abandoning your roots. It means becoming a leader who brings new knowledge, new standards, and new possibilities back to your community. It means being willing to be the first, even when it's uncomfortable, so others can follow more easily. Being the first in your family to build wealth comes with both power and pressure. It means stepping into uncharted territory, making decisions without a blueprint, and taking risks without guarantees. It means shouldering the responsibility of breaking cycles while carrying the hopes of generations. But this role, as difficult and uncomfortable as it may be, is also one of the most transformative positions a person can hold. You are not only changing your life, you are resetting the direction of your entire bloodline. Becoming the first requires a deep level of self-awareness, commitment, and resilience. In many families, financial struggles are accepted as normal. Conversations about money are often avoided or filled with fear and tension. Wealth-building strategies like investing, entrepreneurship, estate planning, and credit management might be completely unfamiliar or even viewed with suspicion. This lack of exposure can make the journey feel isolating. There may be no one to ask for advice, no examples to follow, and no safety net if you fail. But this lack is exactly why your role is so important. When you become the first, you become the example. You become the one others can point to as proof that it's possible. Being the first means redefining what's normal. It means choosing to live below your means, even when others don't understand. It means prioritizing savings and investments over short-term pleasures. It means spending time reading books, listening to podcasts, and attending seminars while your peers are distracted by entertainment and consumption. These choices may not be glamorous, and they may not be immediately rewarded, but they are necessary. Generational wealth is not built overnight. It is built in silence through daily decisions, discipline, and a vision that stretches beyond yourself. As the first, you also face emotional and social challenges that others may not see. There may be pressure to support family members financially, even before your foundation is stable. There may be guilt for having more than those who raised you. There may be fear of being disconnected from your roots or judged for changing. These emotional layers are real and deserve acknowledgement. But part of the journey is learning to set boundaries with love, to give when you can without sacrificing your future, and to remember that your growth is not betrayal, it's leadership. When you elevate, you create the opportunity to lift others with intention and sustainability. Education becomes your weapon and your shield. What you didn't learn at home, you must teach yourself. Financial literacy, business skills, investment strategies, legal protection, and tax planning, all of these become essential tools in your toolbox. You can't afford to move blindly or emotionally. You must move with clarity, backed by knowledge. And when you learn, you teach. You pass it on, not just through advice, but through example. Your habits, your conversations, your priorities, they become lessons for your children, your siblings, your community. Legacy is built through structure, not just effort. As you grow, you must think beyond income. Wealth is not just about how much you make, but how you protect and preserve it. That means setting up the right systems, wills, trusts, insurance policies, retirement plans, and business structures. These are the building blocks of long-term generational security. They ensure that the wealth you create doesn't disappear after you're gone, but instead becomes a foundation for those who come after you. Being the first means laying bricks you may never walk on, but doing so with the understanding that others will. The first in the family to build wealth often carries the burden of explaining, justifying, and proving that this new path is valid. Some people may not understand, some may resist the change, but transformation often begins with one decision, one sacrifice, one person who dares to see something different and chooses to pursue it relentlessly. The true purpose of building wealth is not just about having more money, it's about having more freedom, more control, and more ability to make an impact. Money is not the goal, it's a tool. It's a tool that can buy back your time, reduce your stress, create options, and open doors that would otherwise remain closed. When used with purpose and clarity, money becomes more than just a means of survival. It becomes a means of transformation. It allows you to live life on your own terms instead of being trapped in a constant cycle of working just to survive. When you don't have money, your choices are limited. You're often forced to make decisions based on necessity rather than vision. You may take jobs you don't like, stay in environments that don't support your growth, or delay dreams simply because you don't have the financial capacity to pursue them. This is the reality for many people who grow up in poverty or paycheck-to-paycheck households. But as you begin to build wealth, you regain control. You're no longer reacting to life. You're shaping it. Wealth gives you the power to say no to what drains you and yes to what aligns with your values. Time is one of the most valuable things wealth can give you. Most people trade their time for money, and they often sacrifice their health, relationships, and peace of mind in the process. When you start multiplying your income through investments and assets, you start buying back your time. You no longer have to work every hour of the day just to keep up. Instead, you can focus your energy on what matters most: your family, your passions, your purpose. Financial freedom isn't just about quitting your job. It's about choosing how you spend your time without money being the deciding factor. Impact is another key component of wealth. When you are no longer consumed by survival, you have more capacity to give, to build, and to serve. You can support causes you care about, invest in your community, mentor others, or start programs that make a difference. Money in the hands of conscious, purpose-driven people is a powerful force. It allows you to not only change your life, but to change the lives of those around you. Generosity becomes easier when your cup is full. And when you give from a place of abundance, your giving becomes sustainable and intentional. Generational wealth is not just financial, it's also mental, emotional, and spiritual. It's about passing down wisdom, values, discipline, and identity. True wealth includes the knowledge of how to earn, manage, and multiply money, as well as the mindset to handle it with integrity and intention. You're not just leaving behind dollars, you're leaving behind direction. You're teaching your children how to think, how to plan, how to dream bigger, and how to protect what you've built. That is how a legacy is formed. That is how you shift your family from surviving to thriving. Wealth also creates security. It provides protection against emergencies, unexpected changes, and economic downturns. When you have reserves, investments, and assets, you are not easily shaken by life's storms. You can navigate challenges with more confidence and less panic. This stability allows you to make decisions from a place of strength rather than desperation. It also reduces generational trauma. Your children don't have to inherit your stress, your debt, or your limitations. Instead, they inherit structure, strategy, and strength. The pursuit of wealth becomes most meaningful when it's attached to a bigger purpose. It's not just about acquiring things, it's about creating a life that reflects your highest values and deepest desires. It's about building something that lasts beyond you. It's about making sure that your story doesn't end with struggle, but evolves into one of strength, resilience, and purpose-driven prosperity.